Don't know what it is. It's another one of them shit that got me going on some fat joints. Any videos I show are owned by the owners and creators. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. But I'm gonna talk a little bit more right today about just reparations. Just like what could the government, what do they really say about when they get back in the back rooms, right? And you actually go over numbers. You know, the only people that aided the Europeans through all the wars with the Indians went to Vietnam, did everything you could do, and the only people that actually helped the country with the foundation and the building, you didn't pay. So now, for the labor of centuries, because what was slavery, 300-400 years? I know it was some centuries, and to not pay the people, you're disrespecting the African American to say that you don't say you sympathize with us because you've had since whenever that Juneteenth day or whatever it is, you've had since the funny stuff all them years since Andrew Johnson vetoed the bill. It was a bureau bill in 1863-64. Since Andrew vetoed the bill, Johnson, and we know why he vetoed the bill. His last name was Johnson. So how many plantations do you think that family had? You don't even associate, that family had so many plantations, you don't associate that name with a European person. And I'm just keeping it 100. I don't have no larceny in my heart or no hate in my heart for nobody. It's all the same. It's one love. But it's having some sense about why the government continue to have budgets and continue to have budgets, and you've been paying the Indians all these years. They got big casinos all over the country, balling. What happened to the people? And that's all I'm saying. What happened to the people that built for you? You just let people go. You didn't give people no action at none of the shit they built. You didn't give them action at the no fair work wages. And at this point, I'm not even asking for reparations toward slavery. I'm asking for reparations toward the labor of slavery. You get me? Because they can't pay for slavery. They can't pay for the murder. They can't pay for the rape. They can't pay for the kidnapping. How do you do all them crimes and then police and then captain everybody's journeys through all that mess, and then you didn't handle your own business at home yet? You guys really plan on just going on and not introducing a bill for reparations for slavery? Because it's a bill, it's not a handout. It's a debt the American government owed the slaves and the descendants of slaves that they didn't pay. And you don't just commit no crime and then say it's okay, it's cool now. No, and then don't pay no cost. That's against the very same fabric that they laid in the Constitution and everything else for law here. It's always got to be a disposition. Can we see a disposition to slavery so we can actually legally end slavery and stop selling a nigga birthdays and months, holidays. We don't care about none of them because none of the Indians didn't get it have. We don't celebrate them, and the Japanese, we don't celebrate them. So we don't need no holiday. You can take them motherfuckers back. Let's go back to work on them days and give us a reparation for the business of labor. Because you have the records, 1.7 trillion annually, just in the tobacco fields and in the agriculture field. That's not counting the open market that you sold kids and people's daughters and sons. And it's just ridiculous at even being in a situation where you never tried to correct your wrong. You can't say we sympathize with you for real with a straight face, and you ain't talking about a reparation for at least the labor, because we don't honor the slaves with these bunk holidays. We dishonor them because we hooping them. They jump around. Niggas done made a holiday out of a whole nother. That was a whole nother. Could you imagine? You seen the horrors that even the Europeans put up on the screen about slavery. So it's no denying the horror of slavery. Okay, we're gonna even get past that part and say, can you have a reparation and make a reparation just for the labor then? They accounted for 1.7 trillion annually in the tobacco field and in the agriculture field. And that's what I'm pushing. We'll put the slavery behind us because you can't pay for that no way. You know, you can't pay for murder and rape and ain't no telling what y'all did everything in the book, American government. And so this is an overdue bill. You need to address it. Somebody needs to put it on the table, address y'all senators, because the African, it's time for us to get some respect. See, we ain't gonna get no respect in nothing else because we don't push for respect. We, instead of pushing a line for reparation and something that have foundation, niggas want to barbecue. Niggas want to barbecue and celebrate what? Them people, do you know how scared them people was leaving them plantations? They was ducking, you know what I'm saying? Because you know them owners were vindictive. They were sending lynching parties behind them people. A lot of people didn't make it nowhere. Hung them in trees and burnt them. And all kind of shit. And you guys really made this date a holiday? It's a holiday? Nobody got paid? You let a motherfucker go, you went broke. And these are people that worked all their lives. Because remember, they were kidnapped and brought to this land. So let's make that distinction, and let's make a distinction that this is a elephant in the room that you need to address. Uncle Sam, since you're the purveyor of morals and you're always fighting somebody else's fight, take care of your business at home. Take care of your business at home. And this is not a handout. We could get in front of the American public and we'll do the numbers. We'll do the numbers. Just from a labor standpoint. We're going to even X out the slavery part. From the labor of slavery, 1.7 trillion annually. These people contribute. And that's not to say how much more money they made when they were selling humans. They sold. And you don't just do all this kind of shit and then say, it's cool, we cool. After all these years and you ain't paid nobody or nothing. The American government, you got, I don't know, man. And we got to be the biggest fools because we celebrate, we make these holidays. That was somebody that was just in the way, made a holiday, Juneteenth. Juneteenth. They freed us. They ain't freed us yet. Nobody got paid. Our people didn't get paid to build this country. Who was in the fields with them Africans, them slaves. Africans. No other denomination African. So if you made all this money on the backs of slavery, on the backs of these people, you owe that debt. That's the only way you could correct it. We're not accepting holidays and birthdays. You know, everybody that get holidays and birthdays, you don't got nothing coming. No, y'all take them funky ass holidays back and let's come to the table and put this reparations on the table and let's go through the numbers and see why you paid your enemies and didn't pay your allies. You didn't pay the allies. You didn't pay the people that built the country. You didn't pay the people that made it possible for you to conquer this land. That gave you a cash flow. And the cash flow was slavery. If you didn't have slaves, you didn't have no money back then. You didn't have a voice. That's why it was so hard back then. Everybody had their hand in slavery. Everybody's family, you know, all the Congress, like I say, was Johnson, Smith, all the people, all the names we associate with African American, that's what the Congress name was filled up with them. So it was impossible to get a bill, but now it's past impossible. You have enough information. So let's go over the numbers and let's do the moral thing that you push to all these other countries. Saddam Hussein, you know, Muammar Gaddafi, you know, let's push this line on yourself now and say, well, they do have a striking case for just the labor. And then you paid Indians, you paid everybody that didn't help build a country that you're at war with. Share me, like me, love me, and feel me for sure. Get me out there. I'll holler.